It's time to vanquish the foes of the Imperium with the new Astra Militarum book.
Spiky bits.
What's up, hobby maniacs? Rob Baer back again with you today. Crazy release weekend. We're taking a look at the new Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum Codex, and of course, the fatty pack of data cards right here. Look at all that goodness inside of that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Woo! Astra Militarum, fat 148-page book. Not quite as big as the Space Marine book, but it is the second biggest book we've seen thus far. $40 US price tag on this bad boy right here. And of course, it's been updated with all the new fluff since the Acadia campaign, as we saw Acadia unfortunately falling, but lots of cool stuff happening in the world of the Warhams right now. So contents wise, like I said, 144-page book. It's going to have 55 big, count them, 55 data sheets right here. All the sheets we've come to know and love. I think they actually kept out the Rough Riders. Things that did not have a kit anymore are not going to be included in here. However, you could still use the index book for those to port them into your armies as long as they adhere to, you know, the regiment, keyword, etc., stuff like that. Then you've got the bestiary section, your profile section, dope painted miniatures to get those hobby juices going, and in the back you're going to have your doctrines, your stratagems, your psychic powers, your heirlooms, your traits, all your points values, and then of course your 36 tactical objectives for, well, just everybody to use right there. And there's some specific ones for the guard. So overall, you know, flipping through the book, there is a ton of material in here. Like I said, it's updated to current day. You've got the Ciratix Maledictum, or the Great Rift across the universe right here. And of course, we all know some very bad things went down in Acadia lands, unfortunately. Got all sorts of regiment stuff in here, timelines. Then you get into the actual bestiary stuff itself, but there's actual content in here on some of the new platoons and some of the new regiments, which seems to have eluded me already, but let's keep on going. Lots and lots of information in here, a lot of it, you know, updated. Both Creed's profile has been updated, past profiles been updated, lots and lots of updates. Here's some of the painted miniature section with, you know, they're starting to put more and more conversions in here, which is pretty cool to see as well, along with the normal stuff. So you've got some traditional, you know, Empire cannon wagon wheels here on some weapon teams, and of course lots and lots of Empire. I think those are actually pistolier helmets and feathers right there, if I recall correctly. Lots of painted miniatures looking all fresh and stuff. Okay. Then we get to the rules themselves. So the orders are back. Very interesting stuff to see right here. You've got your regiment special rules, which are new and actually, well, I guess not new, but they're actually going to confer abilities now, which is cool to see. Again, very similar to what we saw, you know, you got to have all the same one in a specific detachment. You can have multiple detachments in a battle-forged army, but if you want the specific abilities, you're going to need to slot them into their own detachments. More on that later when we do our tips and tactics video, of course. So regimental orders, you've got specific ones that go you know, to like Acadians or Catachans and things like that. A lot of this has been previewed, a lot of this has been talked about. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on rules themselves because there's a lot of folks out there that have already, you know, shown you points changes, units changes, all sorts of stuff like that. This is just a brief overview of, hey, is this book for you? Because unfortunately, some of these folks are not able to show you the whole book, whereas, you know, I bought the book, I can do what I want. Games Workshop didn't give it to me, so I'm going to show you what I want out of this, but a lot of them, what I would say at this point would be redundant because we've already seen a lot of folks break down the book or give you their spiel of why they hate it or why they love it, etc., etc. So there's the regimental orders section. There's 55 data sheets in here. Again, you can find out more about which ones have changed, which ones have, you know, been updated, points cost changes, things like that. But there is a lot of cool rules in here. We saw, I mean, just off the top of my head, We saw some of the orders change. Some of the Leman Russ tanks themselves went down in points. They have better abilities when they can move and shoot. Ratlings might be the sleeper hit. A lot of people are bemoaning the changes to conscripts, you know, only being able to take them in squads of 30. Orders affect them on a 4-up. However, that's kind of what we saw at the top level competitive tables already. Blocks of 30 backed up with a commissar. And yeah, if they get orders on a 4-up, but you can re-roll that 4-up still. So it remains to be seen if that is as big a hit with the nerf bat as they needed. I personally don't think it is, and there are some other folks out there that agree with me, but we'd love to hear what you personally think about it in the comments field below. And then of course you got your Leman Russ battle tanks, and now we have all sorts of new and interesting rules. Grinding Advance changed, page 86. Plasma Venting, it only works on each hit roll of 1 instead of taking an auto 6. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here. You got to drill down through it, or you know, kind of watch a video or something like that. Where is page 86 anyways? Oh, there's Grinding Advance right there. So it kind of talks about how if the model moves under half speed in the movement phase, then of course you can shoot its turret weapon twice, and that's defined as a specific thing right here. Now there was for some of my favorite units, we saw the Banesword and, well, the Leman Russ, excuse me, the Baneblade chassis stuff in here. This model does not suffer the penalty to hit rolls for moving and firing heavy weapons now. So instead of hitting or shooting on a 4-up and going to a 5-up, it looks like there's that change in there if they moved, which was kind of brutal, to be honest, if you move this thing. So it definitely behooved you to stand stationary, but now you can move, and there's a reason that that is important that I'm about to show you. Just a few little combos that I'm privy to that I'm really tracking and super excited about. There is a stratagem that allows you to hit on 2-ups with your tanks, and hitting on 2-ups with the big behemoths right there that are strength 9, doing a bunch of attacks. Well, you're gonna probably cause some morale checks on whatever you hit. The Adamantium Trax is a melee weapon, strength of user, which is 9, -2 AP, D3 damage. That's gonna thin out the crowd when you're throwing strength 9 attacks, hitting on 2s at any unit in the game. I don't care who you are, you're gonna take a wicked bad beating from a super heavy battle tank rolling over top of your unit. Now here we've got the new regimental doctrines, some stuff about advisors and auxilia, some match play rules. If you're playing match play, then a Battleforged army, you can include a maximum of 1 regiment command squad in a detachment for each regiment officer in your detachment. Again, kind of a knee-jerk change we saw in an FAQ in my opinion, whereas you can still slot them in detachments and do exactly the same thing and take exactly the same thing and get more command points now. So sometimes I feel like these changes might be a little too knee-jerky, unfortunately, but we saw that far enough out that it made it into the print for the book. Now there's a look at the regimental doctrines themselves, and the restriction, of course, is you all gotta be regiment, keyword from the same one, in a detachment, excluding those in super heavy auxiliary detachments, so they're not going to get a bonus apparently. As long as every unit in the detachment is drawn from the same regiment, they gain the doctrine. And you know, here they are listed right here. We've seen a lot of that previewed already. And then the stratagems themselves, it's going to be 25 stratagems with 8 specific. I think we saw 27 for the AdMech with 8 specific to Forge World, so very similar there to specific regiments. And then of course you've got new psychic powers as well, though they are listed. We've seen all this already on the interwebs. Heirlooms of Conquest, remember, if you're taking a battle forged detachment army, you get one of these for free, but you can, or at least I assume, one of these stratagems allows you to take multiples if you pay a command point. I actually did not check that, so I may be misspeaking. Regardless, I'm sure somebody will correct us in the comments below if that is the case. We have just got this in our hot little hands and taken a closer look at it. But there's the heirlooms, lots and lots of them. One of my favorites, just fluff-wise, is the Death Mask of Olanius the Pious. the very first loyalist to find Horus on his battle barge at the Siege of Terror, and of course he caught a wicked bad beat down by the War Master himself, infused with that chaos goodness there. But spoiler alert, there was a lot more to Olennius, or Ali P, than meets the eye. Check it out on some wikis out there. Warlord traits, 6 big ones right there, and then of course you have specific regiment ones as well. So lots and lots of flavor in this book, depending on what you want to take. And there's the point values with ranged weapons left and right there. Now Volcano Cannon is free if you take the Shadow Sword. Why do I tell you this? Because, well, I just like Shadow Swords. And the Shadow Sword profile just got changed to 3d3 instead of 2d6. Or excuse me, d6 shots. Instead of d6 shots, it used to be, now it's 3d3 shots. So lots of cool tweaks and changes out there. You're going to have to read through the whole book to kind of take it all in. But we have lists posted up on spikybits.com that you can check out, of course, at your leisure. And we will have our tips and tactics video out next week at some point, giving you some sweet combos and some sweet army list ideas as well for the brand new Astra Militarum or Imperial Guard. Now here's the data card pack that comes with it. $15 US pack or US set. And it's a fatty. This is obviously or easily the biggest data cards pack out there that's come out in 8th edition. So you've got all your stratagems, and then it goes into, all of your objectives, and it goes into your stratagems. Hold on a sec, where are the stratagems? And what's cool about the stratagems, like I said, there's 25 of them, with 8 of them being regiment specific. So there's your 3 that we've already seen that are in the 8th edition rule book. There's all of your tactical objectives, and they're going to have a different back. So you've got that little snoot right there, little scully snoot with a sword through it. I guess is that a lion? Remember, these are, the Imperial Guard is the Lions of the Emperor, and I feel like that is supposed to be a lion skull, a lion servitor skull. Oh, what a neat little Easter egg by Games Workshop. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And stratagems for days, like I said, and there's your specific ones. And then you've got your orders. They put orders in here, so that's kind of cool to see. So you can pop out your orders and then your specific orders. And all of those right there. And then it gets into your psychic powers. Boom. So I think if you play Guard, this data card pack is a must-have. Now what's on the back of this one? Servo Skull with the Lion Heraldry motif. Again, the Lions of the Emperor. Servo Skull on, oh, this is a Psyker though. Yeah, there's a Psyker Servo Skull. And Heraldry breastplate for the heirlooms. Well, that makes sense. Again, with the lion motif on it, because they are the Lions of the Emperor. Dun, dun, dun. So overall, I think it's a great looking book. I am super hopeful that this will lead to some more exciting list builds other than what we've already seen out there, the more spammy stuff with mortars and conscripts, and I'm sure soon to be rattling snipers. Those seem pretty fun, and the ability to snipe out characters, well, that's always a blast in this day and age. Protecting your characters or eliminating the enemy's character seems to have a huge effect on any army out there. So we won't dive into it too much else here. This is about 15 minutes, going on 15 minutes. So thanks for checking it out. We'll be back next week with our tips and tactics video. Make sure to stop back by for that one with our thoughts on the new Astra Militarum. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications to like and comment on all of our features we post up on here. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of 8th edition battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.